I'm here with Kerstin Heinrich, Head of Corporate Sustainability at KUKA. Kerstin, thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
So I know for ESG, data transparency is very, very important. Can you tell us about how you're looking at this at KUKA?
So we need transparency on all our ESG data from a global level. And so this is definitely the basis we need because from this point, then we can work on the improvements, we can set targets, we can specify our targets. And with these improvements, so we like to, for example, reduce our costs or push innovations. And this is, let's say, a huge challenge because at the end, we want to collect now data from more than 100 locations worldwide. And also when it comes to regulations, so we need to get transparency on a huge amount of data, and this is not possible anymore via Excel file.
I know you've been working on that together with Adastra. Can you talk about that and the business impact you're looking for?
So we worked on a POC, and so what we did here, so we are looking for a solution that is intuitive, easy to use, because when I said, so we need a solution on a global level, all our colleagues worldwide, they need to work with this solution. So yeah, it should be a reliable solution. At the end, we need an audit-proofed solution to comply with the legal requirements. And that is how Adastra can help us to get a view how it looks like with a Microsoft Sustainability Manager.
Thank you for the great collaboration with Adastra and with Microsoft, and we're looking forward to the further journey. Thank you, Kerstin.
Thank you.
Hi, Michael. You're the Microsoft Partner Manager at Adastra. Can you tell us what Adastra does?
Adastra is a globally operating IT consulting company spanning all industries, but our focus customers in Germany are in the automotive and manufacturing sector. And here we present our proof of concept that we did for KUKA. We anticipated with this deployment basically to prove to KUKA that the best fit for their existing architecture is a combination of Microsoft Fabric and Microsoft Sustainability Manager because it addresses all their ESG needs and perfectly seamlessly fits into their architecture.
And can you elaborate on how you're using Microsoft Sustainability Manager and Fabric and what the learnings are from that process?
We divided the whole topic into two parts. First of all, we need to have a data consolidation layer. We decided to use Fabric here because Microsoft Fabric brings the so-called Cloud for Sustainability data model with it, which is a huge booster in the whole topic because you already have a well-defined architecture, a well-defined data model that you can use. And on top of that, we integrate the data, of course, into Fabric. And then used Microsoft Sustainability Manager to actually transform the data and calculate CO2 emission values.
Well, thank you for the explanation and the great partnership with us. Thanks, Michael.
Thank you.
I'm here with Malini Nambiar. Malini is Director Digital Customer Innovation and Partnerships at Schneider Electric. Malini, thanks so much for joining us.
Pleasure to be here.
You have a great new solution, the Automation Application Copilot. Can you introduce the solution for us, please?
In the industrial automation world, we have several tasks that have to be done in the engineering and the design phase. We start with user requirement documentation that comes from the process expert. It moves on to the control engineer in order to create the automation project. What happens is these user documents come in various forms and shapes. It could be P&ID diagrams, control narratives, IO lists, all in different unstructured formats. Now this needs to be understood, interpreted by the control engineer and then put forward as an automation project. And this is not always easy. There's a lot of back and forth that happens. So our automation pilot, what it does is to take all these documentation, interpret it, then go ahead, generate the code, generate unit tests, the documentation. There's several of these tasks which are augmenting the efforts of the control engineer to do this faster instead of doing the back and forth with the process engineer, consulting, spending time over there. Now, additionally, there is also effort spent to optimize the code because several times the control engineer is in front of legacy code. They need to fix bugs, They need to be maintaining someone else's code, which is written thousands of years ago, not thousands, but yeah, long time ago. And so it becomes very, very difficult to manage all that.
That's fascinating. And I can see how the combination of your technology and our technology is really accelerating the cycle you talked about, the back and forth. So what's the impact on time to market you're seeing from
Absolutely.
this?
I think this collaboration with Microsoft has really helped us to kind of gain the momentum to build this code generation piece very fast. We had the knowledge powerhouses coming from both the sides. From Microsoft, it's the AI tech talent. From the Schneider side, the control automation knowledge and the experience of so many years coming together in order to build this code generation prototype, which is the central piece which will allow us to move forward to create this entire automation workflow.
It's wonderful to hear about the collaboration. Thank you also from our side for doing this together. So what best practices and strategies have emerged regarding consistency, reliability, and maintainability of the code?
Yeah, so during this period when we were constantly doing iterations to improve what we can bring to the table, we were assessing different aspects, quality, reliability, etc. We identified or built several strategies. I could name a few. So first was we created an automated knowledge repository system. And when it's automated, it means that as we add new knowledge, it can be automatically built into the system. So what it helps in creating consistency across codes that is generated. So we build in PLC knowledge from our Schneider libraries. We build in coding practices. And if it gets topped with customer application information, what results is code which is super consistent, very close to the specification of the customer. And so it's getting reliable in that sense. Yet another strategy that we came up with was to create a calibrated feedback system, which was created with actual feedback from our PLC experts. So by this, we were focusing on prioritizing how much the code that is generated is reliable, how much of PLC standards is being followed, and also how the quality is enhanced. The minimum what we want to do is to match the quality levels that an expert would write. Of course, with the system learning more and more, it will even improve. Another strategy that we evolved was generate, validate, and train. So we start with the Copilot helping the user to generate the code, referencing our PLC libraries, and then also allowing the user to validate what is generated. And then the next step is to train the user inherently. So what we end up with is reduction of training hours, be it entry-level engineers or be it new engineers who are new to your system, and they can learn with the Copilot together in order to create the project very fast, reducing the engineering efforts. Long story short, the Automation Application Copilot is augmenting the user to cut down engineering effort, and it's moving towards our goal of achieving 100% engineering efficiency.
Thank you for doing all this work. It sounds amazing. And thanks you for taking the time to explain all this. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
And with that, we wrap up our very short tour of just a few of the exciting showcases and highlights. If Hannover Messe taught us anything, it's that we are truly at the convergence of human ingenuity and artificial intelligence. Together with our partners, Microsoft unveiled AI-powered innovation that resonates far beyond the factory floors and supply chains. Data is what's driving this convergence. Data is fueling products that anticipate our needs, services that exceed expectations, and solutions that rewrite the rules. We are re-entering a new era where every decision is guided by insights that drive new levels of efficiency, and where progress knows no bounds. I've personally seen a couple of things. A shift is happening at HMI from industrial to tech topics. Industrial co-pilots are everywhere, helping to augment the workforce. And Gen AI and mixed reality are coming together, creating a sum that is larger than its parts. And I've seen the power of partnerships. Many of our customers are on a journey from being a customer to being a partner. like to thank our colleagues, customers and partners who visited us here throughout this week at Hannover Messe. I'm grateful for our conversations and to have the opportunity to learn from you. It will be an exciting year ahead as we continue to forge a limitless industry journey with AI. I can't wait to see where we're at this time next year. Until then, thank you for joining us.